All right, we're going to simplify compound or complex fractions. These two names mean the exact same thing. And to review before we get started, the three ways of writing a division, you can write the number that's being divided first. So 3 is being divided by 4. Or you can write the number that is being divided inside. 4 is being divided into 3. Or you can write it in the form of a fraction where the number that's being divided is on top. So what we're going to use in this example is something that's written as a fraction. We're going to write it with divided by. So let's look at this example of a compound fraction. Now this is a simple example that has no terms. And you will recall from earlier, terms are things that are added or subtracted. So I don't see any plus or minus sign in this example, so we can use the simpler method to simplify this. So basically, we're just going to think of the numerator, like the 3, divided by the denominator, and just rewrite it as a division. So that's the numerator divided by the denominator. And because this is a simple fraction, we can just rewrite this division as a multiplication by taking the reciprocal of the divisor. So when we take the reciprocal, that changes to a multiplication. And then remember that you want to reduce before you multiply. So 12 we can write as 3 times 4 or 2 times 6. 15 is 5 times 3. 45 we can write as 5 times 9. 36 we can write 6 times 6 or 4 times 9. And 9 over 9 is equal to 1. 5 over 5 is equal to 1. 4 over 4 is equal to 1. 3 over 3 is equal to 1. So we have 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. Let's do another example. All right, let's do another example. So let's simplify this fraction. And you'll notice that it's a compound fraction because it has a fraction in the numerator and the denominator. We can just rewrite this as a division. So this is 28/40 divided by 42/50. And now let's rewrite it as a multiplication. So we take the reciprocal of the divisor. And when we take that reciprocal, it changes to a multiplication. Then we can simplify. 10 over 10 is equal to 1. 28 is 4 times 7. I'm going to leave that as a 4. 5 is a prime number. 42 is 6 times 7. 7 over 7 is equal to 1. 4 over 4 is equal to 1. I'm left with 5 over 6. I check to see if it cannot be reduced. So the answer is 5 over 6. All right, now let's do an example where we simplify a complex fraction with terms. So we have an addition in the numerator and an addition in the denominator. And you could write this as a division where you have the entire numerator divided by the denominator. But for these, there's actually a simpler method that you can do. So the first thing you can do is find the least common multiple of all the denominators. So the least common multiple of 5, 3, and 15 is 15. And then we're going to multiply this entire fraction by a fraction that's equal to 1. And remember from before, if you have a fraction where the numerator and the denominator are the same, then that's equal to 1. And that's important because if we multiply any number by 1, it's the same number. So that's 15 times 1/5 plus 2/3 over 15 times 2/5 plus 1/15. So it's basically my original problem. I've multiplied by 15/15. Oops, sorry. And then you have to be very careful here. You need to distribute before you simplify. So if you simplify here, you'll end up with the wrong answer. I'm going to distribute that 15 so that we get 15 times 1/5 plus 15 times 2/3, 15 times 2/5 plus 15 times 1/15. Then you want to simplify. So this is 15/1. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3/1. Let's bring down this plus. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. So this is 10/1, or just plain old 10. You can think of that as 15/1. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. And that's 6/1, which is just 6. And then here we get 15/15, which is 1. So we'll bring down this plus. Then remember from way back in chapter 1, when you have operations in the numerator and operations in the denominator, you have to simplify those first. So you might be tempted to reduce the 3 and 6, but you have to do this addition first. So we get 3 plus 10 is 13 over 6 plus 1, which is 7. All right. Now, normally I don't recommend shortcuts, but this is one exception. So instead of writing out this whole step and having to remember to distribute, the shortcut is to multiply each term by the LCD or the LCM. So let's do another example. All right, let's try another example. And if I were you, I would hit the pause button and try this one on your own before watching me do it. All right, so the first step is to find the least common multiple of all the denominators, which is 14. That's the smallest number that 7, 2, and 14 all go into. And then we'll use the shortcut here, where we multiply each term by the least common multiple. And that's just skipping the step of multiplying the numerator by 14, multiplying the denominator by 14, and then distributing. So that looks like this. We have 14 times 2 over 7 plus 14 times 1 over 2, all divided by 14 times 3 over 14 plus 14 times 5 over 7. And then we reduce. So 7 goes into 14 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Bring down the plus. 2 goes into 2 goes into 14 7 times. 7 times 1, 7. 14 over 14 is equal to 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Bring down the plus. 7 goes into 14 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Remember, you want to simplify the numerator, simplify the denominator. 4 plus 7 is 11. 3 plus 10 is 13. All right, let's try one more. All right, let's simplify this compound fraction. And once again, if I were you, I would hit the pause button and try it on your own, and then watch me finish it. All right, so the first thing you want to do is find the least common multiple of all of the fractions. And you can see that that's going to be 10. And then we can use the shortcut where we multiply each term by the LCM. I'll just write that down. And you probably already noticed that there's a negative sign down here. And we just want to just be a little bit extra careful. So we have 10 times 3 over 10. Bring down the plus. 10 times 2 over 5. All divided by 10 times 1 over 2. And now we bring down the minus. 10 times 3 over 5. All right, now we want to reduce. 10 over 10 is equal to 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 goes into 10 2 times. So we bring down this plus. We have 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 1 is 5. Then we bring down the minus. 5 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. And we want to simplify. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Positive 5 and negative 6 make negative 1. And you remember, you don't want to leave a negative in the denominator. So we have 7 divided by negative 1, which is negative 7.